Welcome to Daily Dose of Inspiration. My name is Claudette Estherine Campbell and I am your host. Daily Dose of Inspiration is part of our Tips tutorial inspirational planning series. Truly I say to you, whoever says to this mountain, be taken up and thrown into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says will come to pass, it will be done for him. Mark 11:23. My daughter and her life, me and my daughter, I should say, our life went through so much ups, downs, and turnarounds that our collective head was in a constant twirl. I have mentioned this before, but as we're talking today about thoughts and our expectations, I bring it up again for this inspiration. Dynamic Laws of Prayer is the title of my second book that I read from Catherine Ponder's collection. I was desperate for things to change in my life, for money to start flowing to me like the River Jordan, and for my family life to heal. The first was Dynamic Laws of Prosperity, but that one, I failed. It failed me, as prosperous was not what I was feeling at the time that I was reading it or soon thereafter. So I turned to prayer. Tomorrow, on A Woman's Prerogative, we actually will be having a conversation with an abundance coach, Elaine Starling, and she might point out to me where I went wrong with my focus on prosperity. For now, what I failed to realize was that for all my affirming and praying, my true expectations were my blockage. That lesson would take another 10 years to sink in. I realized that it was all up to me. That's when it sunk in. So I refocused, not immediately and not before further falling into a financial rut, migration, sinking further into both a monetary and financial despair. Reaching upwards to raise myself from the bottom of the pit, I started reading more scientific articles, books, and papers. I have a very inquisitive mind, always questioning, never accepting any one thought as the be-all and end-all. As I searched for a way up from the floor of my despair, through the myriad of sources, one thing seemed to continually reappear. Thoughts are creative. That is what kept pounding at me. Your thoughts are creative. And that's where that scripture from Mark is relevant. There could be no more clear guidance on expectations and doubt than it. What you expect to happen will. In the medical scientific circles, this is demonstrated, and the term the placebo effect came about. Patients with the same illnesses will, given the real deal and a placebo pill expecting it to cure them, will get the same result: healing. It is your mind, silly, and it's worth taking stock of how often our imagination, our expectations and assumptions bleed into reality and actually change experience or change our bodies. This isn't about denying, disguising, or not seeing what is true. It's about the causes when truth may be malleable. That's what Gareth Cook said. The challenge that you and most certainly I often face is when something unfavorable occurs and we are sure that there is no way under the sun we expected that. But are we really sure? Guard your heart with all diligence, as from it flows the issues of life. That's another of my favorite quotes. When whatever turns up in my life, I pay particular attention to the unwanted. That is a signal for me to check the recesses of my heart, because from it flows the issues of life. Thing is this, until you own and heal your heart, the issues in your heart, a daily task it is, they sprout and shoot arrows of negative expectations. They are so tiny and obscure, you hardly see them. Here are the final points of the lesson I had to learn, and I want to close with you today. 1. You get what you expect, even when your words or your thoughts are focused on someone else's life. Secondly, every word and thought is an expectation when powered by emotion. The result will be an equal match to the emotion that you had going on with it, with those words and that thought. And finally, whatever you look for, you will find. Physicists put it this way: nothing exists unless and until observed. The human consciousness shapes the present. Thanks for watching another episode of Daily Dose of Inspiration. Daily Dose of Inspiration is posted on Mondays and Wednesdays with a recap on Saturday on Facebook and Instagram. Hit the like and follow us to get more tips.